Oh, hallelujah. It's another one of these. Here we are, and here we be. And you are first, Angry Gamer Show. First of several. I predict that several of you will come tonight to hear what I have to say about nothing. This is Highdeology, the show where we don't talk about anything because everything pisses me off. How do I come up with titles for these? I don't know. Whatever. Like, I think of a phrase. I go like, all right, brain, generate a random phrase. And whatever comes into my mind, I put on there and I just go. Doesn't really matter, does it? They get renamed eventually anyway. Jesus with stronger jowls. I would punch you in the fucking face if you were right here. I just want you to know that. Punch you right in the fucking face. You got it coming, boy. See the debate everyone's talking about? No. No. What's the debate everyone's discussing today? Please don't tell me it's Vosh versus Charlie Kirk. Please don't tell me it's that debate. Any debate but that. Talk about a pointless fucking debate, bro. Pointless. Useless. Worthless. Waste of fucking time and energy. Tiny-faced Kirk. Whoa. Huh. Well, that's the problem with those kinds of like fucking interactions, right? Is that everybody that was rooting for Charlie Kirk was still rooting for Charlie Kirk at the end, and everybody that was rooting for Vorsh was still rooting for Vorsh at the end, right? Because these are just like ideological opponents. Dude, the left needs to suss out its own shit. We need to suss out our own shit. We need to stop worrying about arguing with fucking Republicans and start worrying about why, for the life of us, we can't accomplish modest fucking leftist goals in this country. We're not even talking about goddamn flipping the switch on a socialist utopia. We're talking about modest fucking leftist goals. Like universal health care. Like a humane immigration policy. Can't get it done. No, go go ahead and dole out timeouts and bans however you see fit. Dude, the people desperate to have yet another goddamn fucking channel give yet another goddamn take on fucking Chris Chan. I don't even know what to tell these people, dude. There was a moderately well upvoted fucking comment on our flash ride today. That was like, what? No Chris Chan banter? And it's just like, dude. Awesome flash ride today. Had me rolling. Thanks, bro. Glad you enjoyed it. I was having a good old time today. I try and bring a chaotic energy to fucking flash ride because otherwise I just sit there and get more and more depressed. The universal health care in the U.S. is a realistic possibility. Absolutely. It's actually fucking like ridiculous that it hasn't just happened already. And for proof of that, see every other developed nation in the world and get back to me. Totally possible. Totally and completely possible, just not with the current fucking power structure, not with the DNC. Not with the RNC, not with this red versus blue fucking shit that's kept us in relative fucking stagnation for 30, 40 years now. Flat wages, according to inflation. Deepening and worsening immigration crises. Continued destruction of the planet. They aren't going to give it, so we're going to have to take it. It's just the way it is. And you guys know me. If you've listened to fucking 5 minutes of me, you know the way that I feel that we have to take it is labor. I feel we as leftists should refocus ourselves almost entirely on the labor space, organizing within the labor space. I think that we should divest ourselves as much as possible from electoral politics, remove our support from the Democratic National Committee, refuse to give another fucking buffalo nickel to that shitlib organization that does nothing but lie to American people and spend what little tiny bits of goodwill, what passes for the left in this country has in people's minds. Do you know that only 18 fucking percent of Ohioans voted in this Nina Turner Brown election that everybody was all flipping out about on Twitter? I want you to wrap your fucking head around that. What does that number say to you? With all of the money that was poured into this fucking campaign on both sides, all of the hype, all of the fucking breathless discussion of it, and all of the cheerleading and shit. What happened in Ohio? Ohioans stayed fucking home. They didn't give a shit. And who can blame them? People act like Nina Turner's the first fucking politician to come along promising a fucking rose garden. People are just done. The thing that I think that pisses people off the most about my political positions are that most people already agree with me. Electoralism is functionally, masturbation at best. Accomplishes nothing but a sense of political release that doesn't last very long. Most people already agree with me. That's, I think, the scary part for a lot of people, is that most people in this country are already on my side. They already know it's bullshit. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. They're fucking smart enough to have picked up on it. They're smart enough to see politics for what it is. Just a fucking soap opera to keep people goddamn fucking occupied while the people that have all the money decide how they're going to run the fucking world. It's a joke. Look at Ohio, dude. Something like, what was it, 16 or 18%? No, it was the high teens of people even bothered to fucking vote. Corporations have every incentive to speed up automation now. So sitting and wringing our hands over like, oh, they might automate us. If they're going to do that anyway. So if we're going to fucking have any impact as a labor force, it's got to be now. It's got to be now. Because they don't need pressure from fucking labor unions to be replacing human jobs with automation. It's already happening. How would universal health care be financially feasible here in the U.S. is my question, though. Americans hate increasing taxes compared to Europeans, so raising taxes would be opposed by many. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you could establish full universal health care in America without raising taxes a fucking penny. Reappropriation of funds from other areas could do it. So, reappropriation of funds from fucking national defense, stopping spending an obscene trillions of dollars every fucking quarter on national defense. Pipeline some of that money to fucking social programs, pipeline some of that money to fund a fucking public option. It's done. So I fully believe that we could accomplish fucking full universal health care in America without raising taxes a penny. Now, I don't really think that it should be that way. I think that some of that money should come from repatriating funds from these companies that are doing this fucking offshore loophole where they set up a fucking fake headquarters in Ireland and then bounce their money to the Ukraine and then bounce their money to fucking Barbados and it ends up in fucking the Caribbean, tax-free. Let's repatriate that money and tax it. I just got a letter from the fucking IRS and had to pay some money because I paid my taxes late in 2019. What do you think the tax bill would be on the fucking trillions of dollars these motherfuckers have sitting in offshore accounts? You get that money without raising taxes a penny. Just apply American tax code to that fucking money. Close that goddamn loophole and say, hey, if you want to keep that money, you want that money to mean a fucking thing here in America, it needs to come in and be taxed. Otherwise, we're freezing you out. See, it can be done in a number of ways without raising taxes a fucking penny on anybody. There's just too much money to be made in a privatized health system. Too much money behind the lobby. And in America, money talks and bullshit walks, and that's just the way it is. Always has been. That's why labor has to be how we attack this shit, because it's the only way we hit them in the fucking pocketbooks. That's it. It's as simple as that, y'all. It really is. You want to sell the idea of labor organization to people? Ask them, what's another way that you can functionally hit multinational corporations and the government stooges that they own in the pocketbook? I'll wait. If it's not labor organization, then what? Boycotts? Those don't work. Shut the motherfucker down. Shut down the factories, shut down the storefronts, shut down the drive-thrus until they come to the table and pay you. There you go. You got to take it. You got to take it. They won't. There's not enough people that care for a boycott to work, because a boycott isn't directly tied to your fucking living wage. That's the difference between labor and a boycott. A labor organization can come with boycotts and shit, but the act of fucking labor organization is striking. That has a bottom line implication in people's lives. They can see it. They can feel it. It's tangible and it's real. Pretending that you care about things and not ordering a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A for a couple of weeks does functionally nothing to that company. Shutting that motherfucker down? Oh, you want a union bust? Nope. We're shutting Chick-fil-A down. Sounds like a dream, but it's possible under a well-organized fucking labor paradigm, but we got to get there. And I don't see leftists talking about it. I don't see leftists pushing for it. I see leftists jerking themselves off. I see leftists fucking breathlessly discussing some fucking dumbass debate between Vosh and Charlie Kirk as if anything got fucking discussed of note there. It's ridiculous. Get off the horse. Stop throwing your money and your support behind the DNC. They're not your friends. They're not leftists. They're corporatists. Stop it. They're warmongers. Stop it. Start organizing. Grassroots at the labor level. I don't know what the question is, or I don't know what the answer to that question is, Guillotine Joe. So I'm just going to keep saying it over and over and over again and keep getting called a fucking dumb shit for it over and over and over again. That's all I can do. Keep advocating for it over and over and over and over and over until people are sick to death of hearing me. And then go beyond it. Because you know what, dude? I was talking the other night about how disheartening it is to see people like who called me a fucking idiot coming around to my way of thinking now. Going like, yeah, I'm starting to think this Biden thing wasn't a good idea. It's like, I was kind of hoping Biden would be a little bit better than he's been. It's just like, you fucking dupes. But the truth of the matter is, people come to my fucking way of thinking anyway. It's a natural process. I realized that the other day, and believe it or not, it gave me a lot of fucking comfort. Because I got, I'd be lying to you guys if I told you that talking about this stuff and being fucking met with such resistance constantly, it gets old, right? And then you watch the things that you said would come to pass, and people are still calling you an idiot, and it gets old. But eventually those people end up on your fucking side anyway. Eventually what's apparent to you becomes apparent to them through the same cyclical fucking shit, and you end up with an ally. So, your fucking agreement will be welcome, but noted as late. In a couple of years, when you're talking the same shit as me, I'll try not to hold it over your head for too long that you were an asshole. Yep. They'll find a way that I'm still wrong, even when they end up agreeing with me. I'm still wrong. I'm still wrong, even though I've been fucking right. Dude, you want to talk about a fucking person, a non-professional political commentator that's made some sick fucking calls in the last 2 years? Hi, my name is Paul Zigo. I was the first guy that I knew that was saying that Joe Biden was going to be the fucking nominee. I was the first guy that I knew that actually piped up and said that there was no chance Bernie was ever going to sneak through the DNC. Hi. You went back and forth on that, and he was leading pretty early on. I never went back and forth on Bernie. You're misremembering things. From the very fucking jump, my position on Bernie was there's absolutely no way he makes it through. I said Kamala was one of the likely ones, but if you remember the fucking call, we did a whole fucking show. And by the way, me saying Kamala was likely turned out to be pretty fucking correct too, didn't it? What is she now? Vice? So I called the president and the vice president fucking like a year and change before they were ever even through the primary season. My reasoning was not some Nostradamus fucking out of my ass pick. My reasoning was very simple. He was the most establishment candidate. And sure enough, what did we get? So how long is it going to be? How long are people going to functionally pretend that I've been wrong a bunch of times when I've been nothing but correct? I was one of the first people I remember saying, hey, guess what? The squad hasn't done anything. The squad isn't acting like they said they were going to act. I'm not real impressed with the squad. Now look at them. It's true. People's memories go back fucking a matter of days in some cases now. The internet is just, it's like information glut. And people forget, as they're fucking calling me a dumbass, that my political calls have been ace, dude. And it hasn't even, like I said, it hasn't even been just like lucky guesses or some kind of crystal ball nonsense. It's fucking literal, just like observation of the cycle and how it works. And that's it. But somehow I'm still wrong after being right. I knew for a fucking utter fact that Bernie was going to fucking bend the knee. You can go back and find example after example after example of me saying Bernie's going to hand all his money to fucking Joe Biden. Bernie's going to hand all his money to the fucking top candidate. You watch. First sign of trouble, Bernie's out of there. He's going to bend the knee. He's going to fold like a fucking house of cards, and that's going to be it. And what happened? I'm still wrong, though. Somehow I'm still wrong. Been right about everything, but somehow I'm still fucking wrong. It's okay, dude. Like I said, your agreement will be appreciated, but noted as late. And that's it. You take whatever time you need. You know what? However many fucking cycles you need, bro. At this point, we're all fucked anyway. However many cycles you need, bro. I'll be here. I'll be here waiting for you. Saying the same shit I've been saying for the last fucking decade. Cheers. It isn't that I think you're wrong. It's that I wish you weren't right. Well, you know what? At least you're fucking admitting it. I think that that statement that you just made is true for a lot of fucking people. And they express that sentiment by constantly fucking with me. Constantly undermining every little fucking thing I say or attempting to. Gaslighting me. Fucking just ridiculous shit. And it's constant. Every day. And I think that a lot of those people are doing that to hide exactly what you said. They wish I wasn't right. And they think that if they can fucking argue hard enough against me that somehow they're going to change me and thus reality. No. Shit's going to keep going the way I say it's going to keep going. Just the way it is. You're getting Donald Trump again in 2024. Unless he has some kind of fucking stroke or some shit. Probably Kamala Harris. They're already shitting their pants about how little people like her. She's got the lowest approval ratings for a vice president since the 70s. It's going to be Trump versus Kamala Harris. It's not even a year from now, yeah. Democrats are going to eat shit in 2022 because they've done fucking nothing. They fucked everybody over. I mean, this is all just rote to me. Paint by numbers shit. I'm saying there's a good chance Trump wins again, yeah. We talked about the Nina Turner thing before. 18% of people in Ohio that were eligible to vote actually showed up to do it. Nobody gives a fuck anymore. Nobody's buying what the DNC is selling anymore. Leftists don't give a fuck anymore. And who can blame them? I'm one of those leftists, right? Not a dollar, not a dime, not a moment of my fucking time to the DNC. Dude, I don't have to be burned more than once or twice to get it. I don't know how many times you need to be punched in the face, but it only takes me once or twice to get the fucking message. I've been slapped around by the fucking DNC as a leftist long enough. Maybe you haven't yet. Do it another cycle. See how you feel at the end of it. Like I said, I'll be here, and your agreement will be welcome, but noted as late. Is there anything we can do? Labor organization. Divest yourself from politics and encourage other actual fucking leftists to do the same. Divest yourself from the fucking idea that voting is just one small part of your activism when it's all you do. Because that's what's going on the online left right now. There is this meme going on that people make a big deal out of voting, but that's, it's one day, it's one thing that we do. Dude, all the online left does is shill for these fucking candidates. Gotta stop. Not a dollar, not a dime, not a moment of your time to these fucking corporatists. You don't stop it, nobody else is gonna stop it either. So stop. Encourage others to stop. Start organizing in the labor space or advocating for that. Start supporting labor organizations, labor candidates, people outside the DNC RNC structure. Don't listen when the doomsayers say, let's rip two evils. Trump's going to be Republicans forever. Who fucking cares at this point? Let the fucking DNC shrivel and die. How will you reduce harm? By functionally fucking stepping in and actually doing something about this blue versus red paradigm that's raping the world. That's how you actually reduce harm. You don't reduce harm by putting an oligarch at the head of the fucking country and then getting mad at him when he acts like an oligarch. That's what leftists are doing right now. Strip it down and think. Electing a fucking rapist, corporatist warmonger and making excuses for him as it goes along. Because at least he's not orange, man. That's being on the left now. That's the extent of leftism now. Fuck that. Trump raised more than the entire GOP. He's coming back, like it or not. If it ain't him, Tom Cotton, DeSantis, I'd argue they'd be worse. Yep. You got it, man. You got it. Yeah, that's right. He did. He helped Macaulay Culkin get back to his family in Home Alone 2. Trump's a good guy, man. Holy fuck. Holy fuck, bro. I feel like I'm going out of my fucking mind with this shit. I really do. I just want to grab people and shake them. I really do, dude. I feel like I'm going out of my fucking mind. Well and truly out of my fucking mind. Like, I see the counter arguments as so infantile, so easily defeated, so silly. I see the ego wrapped up in the fucking opposition to my ideas, and it's so fucking frustrating to see it play out over and over and over again. Just political neenerism. Political nuh-uh-ism. And it's just like, man, fucking get your head in the game, please. Like, you read all this theory, you present yourself as this radical fucking leftist. Go be one. Joe Biden ain't it. The squad ain't it. Operating within the current power structure just ain't it. We have to upset the apple cart. We got to flip the whole fucking thing over, or else. And that's it. That's where I stand. You guys know where I fucking stand. You may not agree with me, but you know where I'm at. I stand with the workers. I stand with the average people, no matter where they stand on the fucking political spectrum. I stand against oligarchs and the rapers of this fucking planet. Where do you stand? Which side are you on? It feels good to pick the right side, so pick it. That's step number one for a lot of you. Just letting go. Just fucking admitting what you already know. Stop listening to the media. Stop listening to the grifters. Listen to your fucking self. If you're smart enough and aware enough to read theory and listen to political commentators, you're smart enough to make that commentary yourself. Listen to your inner voice. What does it tell you about your vote for Joe Biden? You know where all the money that Nina Turner didn't spend on her campaign went? You know where all that grassroots money that Nina Turner didn't spend on her fucking failed campaign went? Right in the DNC coffers. Good job. Anne Feeney's version of Which Side Are You On is soulful. So sad a labor advocate like her passed this February from COVID, but her music is timeless. Yep. CNN, the most trusted name in news. Wolf Blitzer, the weirdest fucking guy in news. Dude, CNN is like a gaggle of fucking weirdos now. Wolf Blitzer, Brian Stelter. Got Brian Stelter's big doughy fucking gamer tan having ass waddling around the goddamn studios. What's going on over there? What's going on over at CNN? They got problems over at CNN. Fox got problems too, though, man. Their flagship and Tucker. Tucker the schmucker. Tucker the cucker. Bow tie boy himself. Good cracks. Nice hiss. Tucker the butt pucker. Yeah, Economos is taking a break tonight. We haven't had a train. It's been probably an hour that I've been sitting out here and there hasn't been a train. Where am I living now? I'm in California, bro. Yeehaw. The wild, wild west. West. Jim West. Desperada. Rough Rider. No, you don't want nada. I haven't seen 21 grams in a long time. So, I don't remember much. How can you afford anything in Cali? Because the shit that you've heard about Cali being impossible to live in is only true in the areas of Cali that people think are all of California, like Los Angeles, San Francisco, Sacramento, San Diego. It's the cost of living, especially within those cities, is fucking abnormally off the charts crazy. Living near the coast in California, off the charts expensive. But guess what? The rest of California, dirt fuck cheap. California is huge, exactly, and deep. I live in one of those places. No, there's really no functional way that you can live on the coast cheaply in California. Is your rent over or under 1.5K? I usually don't share shit like this with people, but I'll share it with you just as a fucking illustration. It's under. What would you ideally be doing? Money is no issue. Your show is taken care of. What do you and your wife do? You're talking about like if money was not a problem or whatever, how would I change? What would change about what I'm doing? I really can't answer that question, man. I don't know. Ideally, I would like for my wife and I and our animals to live in a place where we have functional privacy. What I mean by functional privacy is I don't want to live so far in the middle of nowhere that we have to walk down a fucking mountain trail to get supplies and shit, right? But I want to live in a place that's out of the way enough and private enough that nobody's coming up my fucking doorway, nobody's coming up my walkway, nobody's peeking over my fucking fence. I want actual functional privacy. To me, that's something that's very important to have. And it hasn't always been as such. Like, I haven't been a person that's always craved that. But I'll tell you, man, as I started to get older, that has been a drumbeat in the back of my head. I want away from people. I want to be away from the sounds and dramas and bullshit of other people, and I want to be off on my own fucking shit to the best of my ability. So that's the ideal for me. Now, notice that doesn't include some giant fucking house. I don't want a giant house. I don't have a giant house now. I don't need a giant house. You starting to feel burdened by your online presence? No, not really. Maybe it is. It's a. I wouldn't say burden is the right kind of thing. It's just I live a different kind of life than most people live. Doing what I do for a living, I'd spend a lot of my time doing things that would be utterly weird in other people's lives. Like, for example, sitting on my porch and talking to 100 or 200 people about sometimes very like personal and intimate things, right? That's like upside down and backwards for most people. So the farther out away and the more functional privacy I have, the less I have to, you know what I'm sick of? Explaining to people what I do. I don't want to have to do it anymore. I literally don't want to have to do it anymore. I don't want to have to explain to another motherfucker ever what it is that I do. Unless it's like in furtherance of doing something more with that. Like if I got to talk to a lawyer or I got to talk to a fucking, tax attorney or whatever the fuck. I'm talking about like just average people. I'm so sick of explaining it. That's like saying I don't want to meet new people. That question will always pop up, won't it? No. And not wanting to meet new people is okay. There's nothing wrong with that, especially for somebody my age. Look, dude, I've got friends, I got family, I'm married. I'm not really looking for new buddies. You know, that's okay. It's okay to not want to meet new people. Fuck them. Dude, I have enough fucking human relationships for me and two more me's, dude. I don't consider the people that I know and love a burden, but I would not want to know and love many more people. I'm an ambivert, which means that I like being around people, but I like being by myself. And I can't really control personally how I feel about that. It's not like a light switch that I can flip on and off. And so my whole life, it's been a struggle to try and explain to people that there are some days when I feel very outgoing and extroverted, and there are some days where I don't want to fucking talk to a human being. I don't want to deal with anybody else's bullshit. I don't want courtesy calls or anything, and it's just like, that's just the way it is. That's the way I am, at the very least. I know who and what I am at this age, which is good. No question about that in my mind anymore. That's true. It confuses people because here's the thing. I kind of burnt myself out in my 20s because I realized how much people loved happy performery Paul, that I wore that mask, which is one, everybody's got different masks. Masks. Everybody wears different masks. Read Jung. I would wear that mask all the time when I was around people. And I burned myself completely the fuck out on it, dude. Was getting into fucking heavier drugs and just getting more and more kind of anxious and having deeper depressions and shit. It was driving me fucking up a wall. Everyone says they're both introverted and extroverted. It's one of those things that psychics will tell someone to astound them. It's actually something that I had to learn about myself. It's not like some horoscope thing. There are people who are almost entirely introverted. There are people who are almost entirely extroverts. And then there are people, like most things in human personality and sexuality, it's a sliding scale. It's not like a binary, it's a sliding scale. And so finding out, I used to tell people I was an extrovert. I used to openly describe myself as an extrovert because that's how I acted. Now, I was privately suffering with a deep desire to run away from everybody, but I fought against it because being social had benefits in my life, at least to some degree. Maybe not the same, maybe not the level of benefit that I thought, but to some degree. See, I have uh, an anxiety, like a social anxiety that's different. Maybe not different from a lot of people's, but I get very, very uncomfortable in large crowds of people, like large anonymous crowds of people. If I'm in a big crowd of people where most of the people know each other, I'm usually okay. And I know, at least most of the people there, I'm cool. Big family get togethers and funerals and weddings and shit are typically fine for me. And they're not my favorite things to do, obviously, but socially, they're not awkward. But going to I don't know, a big concert or a big theme park or a conference, those types of situations can be really, really fucking it's not that I can't enjoy them, it's that just I have to allow myself to get in the right mind space to get it. And a lot of that has to do with tuning out the crowd and focusing myself entirely on whatever it is that I'm there to do. See, DFF meetups, there's a difference there. I see recognition in the crowd. So even though the crowd is anonymous, I'm not anonymous to them, if that makes sense. And so it's like the ice has already been broken at least one way, and it's very easy for me to reach out and shake a hand for, shake the hand of somebody I don't know and be friendly and cordial with that person. And I don't really feel now it does drain my social battery, immensely, to meet that many people. But at the end of it, I move on. I'm fine. No, it's not really that. It's just about being in large anonymous crowds. There's something that I'm adverse to about it. It's not really about having to meet people or people not knowing me or me not knowing them. I mean, there's definitely something to that, but it's about being in a large mass of people where everybody's out for themselves. I don't like it. I don't like the way people act in those situations. I don't like the way that I have to act to maneuver in those situations. I just don't like that push me, pull you kind of fucking shit. Stinky Paul. Get banned. Uh, it's not that I like the meetups or my turf. It's just that like that there's a performance going on, right? Not to say that I'm being false with people, but I'm on and I'm prepared to be on. And I know that, like, once again, like the social ice is broken one way, and I'm there for a purpose to meet and greet, have fun with my fans, talk with them, take pictures with them, sign their stuff, show them that I appreciate them, maybe put on a little fucking stage show for them that's fun and funny for them, and then mingle and all of that. So that those are my goals. That I have a very direct goal, and it involves interacting with people, and it doesn't involve people climbing over each other or fucking each other over, because everybody there has like a common purpose, right? I guess that's why, like, maybe going to concerts is one of the easier ways for me to get over the whole anonymous crowd thing, because at the very least, the crowd the people that are there for a common purpose. You're all there because you enjoy the music of whoever you're there to see, or you enjoy the comedy of whoever you're there to see. You enjoy the show that you're there to see. I don't like a packed movie theater, although I will admit that there have been times where being in a really packed movie theater has been cool. So it's like I obviously prefer to watch a movie, a few weeks after it's come out, so that there's only 5 or 10 people in the theater with me and yada yada, and I don't have to put up. And I think that's just like less about social anxiety and more about just like reducing the moron quotient. You know what I mean? The less people that are in the theater, the less chance there's going to be some farting, snoring person picking up their cell phone and answering it in the middle of the theater shit. But you go to opening night for a hyped up fucking movie. I've done that numerous times in my life, and there's a really fucking cool energy that flows through the crowd. So, it just depends. Like, I'm definitely going to try, if the theaters aren't fucking closed down and Dune doesn't get pushed again, which it will. If they close the fucking theaters again, not only will it probably kill some of these fucking movie companies for good, but it's going to fucking push all these fucking movies back again. Oh my God. The meme is going to happen, isn't it? Dude is going to get pushed back and pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. Oh. Dude, can somebody get me Denis Villeneuve's number? I want to write him a heartfelt fucking letter, dude. Just let me see it, Denis. Just let me see it. Listen, everything at my expense, okay? I'll fly wherever you want. I'll sign whatever fucking NDA that says you can sue me out the ass if I reveal one fucking thing. I won't say a thing. Just let me see it. Please, Denis. I'll fly wherever you tell me to fly. I'll go to whatever crazy fucking hidden theater place that you want me to go. Just let me see it, Denis. Let me see it, Denis. Denis. Let me see it, Denis. It didn't have to get like this, Denis. Why couldn't you just listen to me? Let me see it, Denis. Am I gonna get banned for that? That was a joke. It's a fake gun. It's that was a joke. These was jokes, YouTube. It's a real salt gun, that's true. Yeah, not an assault gun. Assault gun. Paul, what's your perfect sandwich? A really well-made BLT. To me, that's God on a sandwich. You got your super crispy bacon. You got your fresh, crisp iceberg lettuce. You've got a slice of fucking tomato. Little bit of fucking mayo. Smash it down and go. Simple and effective. Oh, well, thank you, Rancid Bunny, for the money. That's pretty funny. I mean, we have, I guess, a tentative list of places that we would like to visit, I guess, but I don't know, man. I feel bad even talking about it anymore because we started hyping people up about the possibility of us doing an LA meetup the last time. We just didn't have time to plan it and make it right. Um, it just didn't. We weren't able to bring it together in time. But fucking, it's good that we didn't, because fucking L.A. County had a huge spike in COVID. It started being reported while we were there, and it's just like, oh fuck, fan fucking tastic, bro. Yeah, New York City is high on the list. Las Vegas is on the list. Um, this idea of doing like a fucking shithole tour of the United States is on the list. I really like that idea. But it's definitely got to something that it's got to be something that we figure out how to make it, at the very worst, cash neutral. Because we can't fucking come out of pocket and do those. You know what I mean? So we've got to find out a way to monetize them to the point where it pays for us to be there. It pays whatever the fees were to get the place that we rent, pays to fly in our opening act and all that shit. And we've gotten, I don't know, we've had various success making that happen in the past. It's like Gadsden. We ate that one, but it was relatively cheap. We were able to drive to it. It was not that long of a drive, and we stayed in a shitty hotel overnight and went home the next day. So, I mean, I don't want to start funding a fucking trip that we don't know when it's going to be able to happen. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Depressing, depressing, depressing. Pew, 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 pew. No, that wasn't the biggest cash suck. I think probably the one that fucked us the worst was the first DFF LA meetup, which is fucking legendary, dude. Legend meetup. Holy fuck, it was legendary. But the place that we got it at, we did it at, I can't remember the name of the fucking joint, but we did it at this place in LA, and part of their thing was we had a bar minimum to meet. That means that part of us getting the place and buying the place out for the night was us saying that the people that we brought in were going to buy X amount of alcohol, so that the place makes a bunch of money, obviously, right? And we definitely would have met the bar minimum. We easily would have. But they kicked us out like 2 hours early because some fucking dork showed up with an airsoft gun. Long story short, we ate it on that one. Yeah, those of you that haven't heard that story, there were actually two fucking total fucking morons that ruined it for everybody and cost us a bunch of fucking money. One of those morons showed up with a legit functional metal and wood battle axe and thought he was going to bring that into the fucking club to have TJ sign it. He got his ass fucking kicked out, or not let in the door, and not let back in afterwards either. And then a couple of hours later, while we were on stage doing the show, actually it was while Marshall was doing the opener for us, some fucking dude showed up and had two airsoft pistols on him. that looked straight out get down real. Like they weren't like this, you know, with the orange shit. It was nothing. They looked like real ass fucking 9mm Glock pistols. And the dude almost got fucking drilled by the armed security there, which was hired by the venue. Like they, you know, they went to fucking like, whoa, you know, they saw something poking out of his jacket. And he opened up his jacket and he was strapped up with 2 fucking pistols. And when they said, hey, what the fuck you think you're doing with that? He went to go pull one out. He was like, oh, this is just a fun. And that fucking guard drew down on him. Like pulled the gun out and was like, you don't want to fucking pull that gun out. They ended up taking his guns. They were like, give me that, and get the fuck out. He's like, how do I get my guns? They were like, you don't. Call and make a police report. Get the fuck out. So hopefully lesson learned for that dumb fuck. Probably a pretty expensive lesson. What does a really super realistic looking Glock airsoft pistol cost? They got to be like $100 a pop, right? $80 a pop. 80, 90, $100. Any airsoft dorks? Yeah, see, these were really good ones. When the dude, okay, so I'll tell you guys a little something about myself. As a victim of gun violence and as somebody that had in particular a Glock 9mm to his head in that gun violence, seeing those guns, I almost fucking passed out. I was so fucking pissed off. I had all this adrenaline because they were kicking us out 2 hours early, fucking us. And I was mad. I was going to bitch somebody out. And it was that same security guard that pulled me aside. He was like, hey, man, come in. Come here and let me show you something. And he pulled those fucking guns out, and my mood switched like that. It went from anger to, like, fear. I was like, you got to be fucking joking. Because I didn't know they were fake. I couldn't tell. He was like, they're not real guns, but there is no way that you can tell at a glance. And he was strapped up with these and 2 holsters inside of his jacket. And I was like, what? This is one of our fans? He's like, yeah. He said when I asked him what he was thinking, he said, I wanted to be cool like the Reservoir Dogs. That's what he said. I was like, what? So, legendary meetup. But yeah, we ate the fucking big pile of shit on that one. That one might have turned a profit for us, a minor profit, albeit, and it ended up soaking up some money. We ended up owing that fucking place a bunch of money because we didn't meet the bar minimum. This fucking sucks. But a lot of that was naivete on our part too, like booking the wrong kind of place. Like we booked the venue was great. I really liked the venue. The way it was set up was great. Had a really good private outbuilding green room for the fucking quote unquote talent. So that we had a place that we could go and chill and smoke weed and not be fucking bothered. Some dude did that too. Some dude puked all over the fucking outside of the thing. That's what I thought we were getting kicked out for at first. Some dude came out and fucking just spewed all over the front of the like walkway and shit. I went in there all pissed off when I heard they were closing us down. And I went to the bartender first and I was like, dude, is this about the fucking puke? The bartender didn't say shit. He was just like, I was like, dude, give me a fucking mop. I'll clean up the puke. I'll mop the goddamn fucking puke myself. Don't close us out. And that's when the fucking security guard came and got me and ushered me to the back room to show me why we were getting closed out. And I was just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bro. So wait a minute, but and I still didn't understand. I was just like, so we're getting booted because some dumb fuck showed up with some fake guns? Like, what sense does that make? It's like, well, the manager just thinks it's too rowdy. Thinks the crowd is too rowdy. It's like, is this a bar? Aren't you guys a bar? Yes? What do you mean? Somebody puked? You caught some dude trying to bring a fake gun here? That's what you have security for. That's what you have mops for. You're a bar. It's the first time somebody's puked in your bar? Rowdy ass roadhouse style bar too. Set up very like, you know, brass rail style. I think that that's what it was. I think that ultimately they didn't like us for whatever reason. And the dude that was managing the place was just like, fuck them. We're gonna bone them. I mean, yeah, dude. And see, that's the thing is like when people go to these, they want to get drunk with us. And so the bar minimum is at any of the other events that we've done that we've had bar minimums at, never been an issue. It's like the 16-bit DP meetup in Columbus. They had a huge bar minimum for us to buy that place out, but we came up with the idea to like make a drink. And we told the bartenders, like, let's make a drink. Let's call it a Dinor. You know what I mean? And it'll be and just make up some fucking weird looking drink and you'll sell 1 billion of them. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. I don't know. We need to do that at every one of these places that have a bar minimum. We need to just go to the goddamn bartender ahead of time and just be like, look, make up a fucking drink and just call it, and just whatever, this meme, call it a manatee. You know what I mean? Well, see, that's the difference between two different places to give you like a stark example of it. The difference between that venue in LA and the Big Chief in Gadsden, Alabama. Okay? One of the most woe-begotten fucking places on earth, but a great little restaurant. Dude, those people, you could tell that they were bemused by our hairy, long-haired asses showing up and some of the goths and, you know, queer kids and stuff that showed up. You know what, dude? They were fucking pleased as punch to have us. Welcoming, fucking helped us out in any way that we needed, invited us back anytime. Just let us know when you want to do this again, because we made them a bunch of fucking money that night. That was the bottom line. They didn't care that there were some fucking goths and shit wandering around the front of their shit. They didn't care that there were some weird kids, you know, kicking it at their place, because everybody there was buying hamburgers and fucking French fries and fucking sodas and shit out the ass, out the yin yang. And so they were really dope to us. And we were dope to them. Yeah, they knew we were coming beforehand, but the guy told me, he was like, dude, till the last minute, I thought you guys were just trolling us or something on because we set it up via Facebook. And, you know, the guy, they were very fucking easy to set up with and stuff, but he was like, you know, he kind of candidly told me, he was like, dude, I didn't know you guys were going to actually bring this many people. Like when you gave me that number, I was like, oh, okay, all right. Because I think we told him, like, you probably expect somewhere between like 50 and 80 people. And that's about what was there. About 65, I think, 70 people ended up showing in total. And he was like, oh, okay, all right. He's like, I didn't think you guys, he's like, man, it's a big crowd. Thank you guys so much. How did you find out about us and all this shit? So I had to try and explain to this guy that he lived in the fattest town in America without insulting him. And so I self-deprecated. I was like, you know, we're a bunch of fat guys. And so we wanted to find out, like, where is the fattest place in America? And it turns out Gadsden is one of the fattest places in America. He started laughing. He's like, yes, it is. And I said, well, we figured that the best reviewed burger in the fattest place in America had to be good. And he laughed his ass off. He loved it. So he was not insulted at all. But I see if I had to present it the right way. That was a fun meetup. Well, I'll tell you this. In the defense of that place that shut us down, there was a major shooting like 2 blocks from where we did that show, like the night before we did that show. So everybody in that area was kind of on alert. It wasn't an area where there were shootings all that often, and somebody had walked into some club a couple blocks up and shot a couple people the night before. And so that whole area was real, like, so that dude showing up with fucking guns, he's lucky he didn't just get drilled. So, you know, you got to give that context too. And LA in general is a place where they don't fucking put up with that type of shit because LA has a remarkable, as you can imagine, gun violence problem. And so it's, you know, you gotta at least give them that. However, I think that, you know, any rowdiness that they felt that the crowd was engaging in could have been solved by coming to us because they didn't. You know, this dude that ran this place didn't send anybody to come and fucking talk to one of us at any point before he shut us down. We could have talked to people and been like, hey, you know, drink responsibly, don't puke. Don't puke all over the bar, whatever their problem was, you know. But I just don't see it. Like, I look back on it and I'm like, dude, their problem was they were selling too much fucking alcohol. I mean, come on. They're a bar. Like any fucking bar owner worth their salt would know the difference between a dangerous crowd and just a thirsty ass bunch of neckbeards looking to get wasted because they got to meet their, you know, entertainment guys or whatever the fuck, which is exactly what it was. Just a bunch of really fucking drunk neckbeards hanging out, paying paying through the nose to drink at this fucking place and get into it at the door. It's just like, fuck that venue. Fuck those people. Fuck the context. Context is dead. Were you familiar with firearms growing up? Yeah. Yeah. I was I was taught to carefully handle weapons at a pretty young age because I lived in an area and my parents had guns. And I lived in an area where a lot of neighbors had guns as well. And so I was taught like gun safety and all that shit when I was probably about like 8 years old. And I went shooting around that age for the first time. Shot a handgun and like a little fucking like 20 gauge or whatever. Or sorry, a little 10. What's the smaller one? I always forget with the goddamn shotguns. Yeah, 20 gauge. I used to skeet shoot when I was little. My dad and, well, this dude whose property we went to shoot onto had this like slinger. My friend's dad used to take us skeet shooting up in the mountains. So I did a lot of that. I'd say I have probably most of the gun experience that I have is with shotguns. But I've shot pistols, I've shot rifles. It's been a long time since I've shot a weapon, though, like an actual gun. Prepare for the zombies, dude. I'm ready for the zombies. Let's just put it that way. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get down and boogie with the zombies. I'm ready to get down with the sickness. Paul was born for the zombies. Yeah. True. Paul, are you a good guy with a gun? I'm a good guy. Whether or not I have a gun is none of your business. I hope you never have to find out the answer to that question. It's not like TJ, Scotty, and crew are coming was mostly business. Aside from the beach, what was the main thing you guys did just for fun? I mean, we spent a good amount of days at the beach and did a lot at the beach. So we didn't just go to the beach, but we spent a lot of time bumming around the beach town. We all went and saw a double feature at a drive-in movie, and TJ and Scotty. I think most of the people there had never been to a drive-in, so that's cool. That was fun. We went out and had a really nice dinner for Scotty's birthday. Scotty's birthday happened while we were up there at the beach, so we went and had a really nice steak dinner with Scotty, and that was fun. And we chilled. We hung out. We smoked weed. We talked late into the night. Like, even when we got to LA and shit, we just kind of congregated downstairs outside on the porch at night and smoked a bunch of weed. Talked. Salty Paul Kush, dude. The goods. The good stuff. All right, I'm getting out of here. I'll see you guys later. Bye.